Hello and welcome to Rapid Pixel Racing GP2 round 11. We are at Canada tonight and I'm in the middle of trying to get 5 screens sorted at the same time. Why is that showing that? No, that's the wrong thing. That's not what I want to see. I just want to see that. Ooh, rain. Output protector. That's the one. Screen. So we've got rain for qualifying at Canada. Whilst the drivers are loading into the lobby, I will run you through the stand-ins, double check they are the latest ones. They are. Woohoo! Got everything right this time. So Johnny with a commanding lead out in front in the drivers' stand-ins with 210 points, 62 ahead of Andreas in second, 93 ahead of his teammate James Al in third. Frenzy sitting in fourth, Lister in fifth, Hobo sixth, Scotty in seventh, Evan in eighth, Mrs. Carl in ninth, Carl in 10th, Wumax in 11th, Pedro and Venom tied in 12th, Zodak in 14th, Speedy in 15th, Ashwin in 16th, Matty in 17th, Demon in 18th, Decky and Night Sniper in the Red Bull, yet to score points in 19th place. So turn that on, turn that on, turn that on, like that. And constructors stand in, so Aston Martin are romping away at the front with 327 points, 141 point lead over McLaren in second. AlphaTauri in that battle for second place, currently in third, just 14 points back from second. Alfa Romeo in fourth, Alpine in fifth, Haas in sixth, Williams in seventh, Mercedes in eighth, Ferrari in ninth, and Red Bull yet to score in 10th place. Who's that? That's a Aston on the way out. That's Cons on his way round for the first lap. Zodak on the Discord, wet again. So is the entire race wet? Or is it just wet quali? So we are still running crossplay like we did last week. However, there have been a couple of restrictions put in place. So it's dry race, wet quali. So after last week's race, as I'm sure those of you who watched along would have noticed, it was quite a quiet affair on comms at times because I was just trying to keep an eye on what a new reserve driver was doing. It was pretty blatantly obvious that they were a PC user and they were running some of the grip mods and hacks and just blatantly cheating. So they've been removed from the league. They're also part of TTFL and have been removed from that. We have kept crossplay on because we've got a couple of drivers who run on PC, but they're known drivers to us, being Moyland and Cons. So we know those drivers, we trust those drivers. We also know their pace from seeing them race on console, so if all of a sudden they were to pull 3-second gaps in qualifying in same conditions, we'd know something was up and they'd end up with the same punishment. But Moylan doesn't need to cheat. If anything, I want to find the grip hack and turn his grip down by 20%. So Cons is going to open our timing in Q1 with a 120.6. Followed across the line, Mrs. Cole a 22.0. Hepburn jumps to the top with a 20.3. Connie Stokes is invalidated. Sodak's on an outlet. Scott is invalidated. At least he's not put it in a wall. Hobo, I think, is the next to set a time. So just coming down into the final chicane, past the wall of champions, doesn't hit the wall. The shortest run to the line, crosses the line at 20.0, so Hobo to the top of the timing board. Gap back to Moyland, who's on an outlet. Connell's partway through his second run as we've got a Ferrari of Venom in the wall. So Venom won't be taking part in any more of qualifying. That's so unfortunate and not something we wanted to see. Venom's got some good pace. Also thinking Venom has said in Discord he should have stayed on Diablo. Mrs. Cole jumping to the top of the time in there with the 20.0. There's still time to get back on Diablo Venom as Lister hits the wall on the run down to turn 7. See how Moyland's getting on. Speed not going up as quick as Legendary last week in the wet, so gets a big kick of oversteer on the exit from the chicane, but crosses the line a 19.7 from Moyland. Johnny's done a 20.0, down on a 20 flat, same as second and third. Currently sits in fourth. Zodak coming up to chicane before the hairpin. To the end of sector 2 with a 50.9 into the hairpin. So Zodak going for the full wets. Let's see. Yeah, only one going for the full wets, obviously, with Venom having departed quali. Everyone will be through to Q2. So Zodak does a 124 on the full wet, so about 5 seconds off the top time. Johnny Stokes has popped in with a 19.4 to take the provisional pole in this session. As Moyland is taking part in the race, he's not going to be joining me on comms. So it is just going to be my dulcet tones you're going to have to put up with. hopefully I can keep you all entertained. It could be a decent race. It is a dry race. Oh, Zodak getting on the power a little bit too early there, out of the hairpin. Speedy on his way out of the pits. Lister on another outlap. Brumac's still in the pits. Kyle's jumped up into second with a 19.6. It does look to be pushing on this second lap. No, I'll take that back. He's 4.5 seconds down on his time. Moreland crossing the line with a 19.2. Moreland behind in the pace in the wet. Question mark whether Right, is that... Oh, you're... I said, why the hell is my mic lit up red? Right at the start of the stream. Now I know why. It muted me. So you've all missed all that wonderful commentary and everything else. So, apologies for that. Rumax fitting a set of softs in the pits. So, I'll run you through the standings in case you can't read what's on the board and you wondered what was going on. Johnny Stokes currently out in front with an 18.2. Scotty's jumped up into second with an 18.7. Hobo up into the top of 17.7. I'm guessing the track's nigh on dry now. And everyone's going to come in for something. I wouldn't waste softs now. Everyone's through. Frenzy's retired in the pits. Venom's DNF'd. Everyone's going to be through to Q2. There's no point wasting the softs. But going back to the fact there was no sound, at least it's good to know that I can look out the corner of my eye and see if the mic's red, it means it's on mute. That means there's a button on this headset to mute it. So I've picked up a new headset. It got delivered today, so I'm just getting used to it. It's a decent headset and it's got the full-on RGB lights on the side. I mean the RGB. Sorry, RGB lights. Not that you can see the lights when you're wearing it. And I don't turn the camera on, so you can't see it either. Lister up into third with an 18.289. Donny retiring in the pits. Lister still pushing. Can he displace Hobo? No, he can't on that light. On that one. Yeah, LGBT lights. Webcam on there because I deleted webcam. Oh, I deleted it. Don't know how well they'd show up. This might all go really well. Yeah, don't want it that big. There you go. You can see the LGB lights. And now I'll turn that off because you don't need to see that. One thing I will do though, if I can figure out how to do it, because the lights are programmable, if I can sync them to the light feed from the game, I might do that just for a giggle. So if there's a yellow flag, they'll go yellow. Mind you saying that, it's only going to be yellow and green flags in this game. If they ever brought in the red flags, then it might be worth it. I suppose I should really pick up a decent web. I've got a decent webcam. I've got the PS5 cam. It causes bloody chaos trying to set it up. So there are still drivers out on track. Hepburn's invalidated his current lap. Rumax opted against going on the softs and has gone out on the inters. Coming out of the hairpin on the run down to the final chicane now. Nicely through, not too close to the wall. A little bit of time to gain there. An 18.4 for Womack takes him into 5th. We've still got on track. Carl's on track coming through the final chicane. Evan goes 16.6 to displace Hobo. Carl goes into 2nd with a 17.0. Hepburn's invalidated and coming into the pits. So at the end of Q1 we will be saying goodbye to Venom and Frenzy. I suppose screenshots will be in order. Con's getting knocked out as well. I thought Con's retired in the pits. I didn't realise he'd had an incident. Track limit, terminal damage, so he did on his 3rd run. So 13 through into Q2, so we'll only be losing 3 at the end of this session. Looks damp, but doesn't look to be raining. So we'll see what the driver's up, and then we load in, and it actually looks quite dry. Data enabled, detail tyre. Game's defaulted them all to dry tyres, so it's going to be a dry Q2. Thank you, Hobo. I need to get some custom emojis put on to Twitch for those that have subscribed. So Moyland out on. We'll keep the tyre data on, although it does take up a good chunk of the screen. Out on the hards. Connie's gone out on the softs. So Connie just going for 1 run. Holland ahead of Connie. Scotty out on the softs. Hobo out on the hards. Carl on the softs, Hepburn on the softs. Hepburn is going to be the first to set a time as the Mercedes making its way down the pit lane. Hopefully we'll pay attention to the cars coming along the start finish straight and won't get in the way as they're starting their hot laps. Hepburn nicely through 1 and 2 up to the first chicane. That's that beautifully on the inside. Out of the corner where Vettel ran deep in the wet in 2011, gifting Button the win. Sector 2 for Hepburn, a 42.6 for Hepburn into the hairpin, a little wide of the apex but looks to get a good exit. Drive down the exit, heading now to the final chicane and the Wall of Champions. Some marker boards there that I'm sure someone will take out for Speedy's benefit. Crosses the line of 111.6 from Hepburn. Let's see what Moylan can do on those hard tyres. 11.9 from Moyland. Connie Stokes out of the hairpin. 1:11.0 from Johnny on the soft tyre, so 9/10 difference between the soft and medium. Wasn't on board, so don't know if they had any moments in their lap. Hobo with a 12.2, so only 3/10 off of Moyland on the same tyre. Hobo again showing that he's got some pace. Definitely going to make the Saturday F2 League interesting. Hobo and Moyland teaming up as teammates. As Mrs. Cole goes into second with an 11.2. Womax comes up into third with an 11.6. The time's very close at the moment. Validated his current lap and doesn't have the fuel to go for another run, so Scotty will be coming into the pits. We'll stay with Speedy now in the other Alpine as he makes his way up towards turn 7. On to the second DRS. Deep through that chicane, gets away with no invalidation, but this is going to hurt his time. Through the hairpin, back on the power. DRS open now, and now it's just a straight run down to the chicane. On the brakes. It's the entry apex nicely, crosses the line of 112.2 for Speedy, takes him into 6th, currently safe from the knockout zone. Hobo on a 12.2 in 7th, Lister on a 12.5 in 8th on the hard tyre as well. Carl on a 155, so clearly not a representative lap. Zodak on an out lap. Evan completes his lap in 11.3 to go into 3rd. Yellow flag for Speedy. He's taking it steady. He's trying to recharge and go for another run. Zodak starting his lap up to turn 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7. Stepped away from him. He got the power down, but managed to keep control. To the end of sector 2, splits the timing line at a 43.3. Been off the curb on the hairpin apex. Run down to the final chicane. My voice feels like it's starting to go. Wide on the entry apex. Brings it across to take the racing line, crosses the line and 12.5. Currently sits him in 10th. Scotty starting another run, so we'll stay with Scotty, see if he can keep this one clean. And as I say that, Scotty invalidates. On with it, or you don't realise how long quali is until you go out on lap 1 of Q1. As the voice of experience and having been there, done that, oh, I do know. It's a perfect time to go and get a beer, have a conversation with the missus for 5 minutes and then go, oh no, sorry, I've got to go. I've got to go do the race. Yeah, full quali. It's good. I enjoy full quali, but it can be frustrating if you're out early on in Q1. Scotty getting it very sideways there, but manages to catch it and keep it going. There's someone's wheel in the middle of the track. I want to look at race directors to see if someone's terminal, but I don't want it to crash on me. And I dare them go back into it now because it's done that. I'm not going to let you in. So someone must have lost the wheel. The only one out of qualifying at the moment is Speedy. So has Speedy lost it? And I missed it. Scotty out of the Wall of Champions, run to the line. (1:10.9), so 10th and a half faster than Johnny Stokes. Take provisional pole for this session. I think that is you safely through now, Scotty. So you don't need to push anymore. Bring that back to the pits. Nice and steadily, please. Mrs. Cole currently sitting in 3rd, is back out on track. Pushing this lap though. Going again for another run. Oh, that's something I've got to fit. I don't know why that does that every single time. D. That one. Done. There we go. So that previous lap was new tyres for Mrs. Cole. There is that abandoned wheel. Cole comes to the end of sector 2. 42.3, a 10th up. Oh. 10th up, so this is going to hold her in 3rd place. It's like watching paint dry. Yep, I'd agree with that one, Cons. Mrs. Cole bails out on that lap. I think she'll be safely through. The drivers that need to improve are Lister, Zodak and Decky. We'll stay with Lister as Johnny Stokes has left the session, so let me just go and re-invite him. Lister on in the background. They all get to see my friends list. Alright, Connie got back in then because it's not letting me invite him back in. So Lister 2 tenths up. Let's find another couple of tenths in the next couple of sectors. Heading up to the end of sector 2. 7 tenths up, so should be well up the ice. It's going to put him at 11.8, so it's going to put him into 8th place. Moreland and Hobo both out on track on the softs. Feeling confident on those times set on the hard tyres. As it comes through the final chicane, heads to the line, and it's a 1:11.9. Moves Lister up into 9th. Knocks Hobo into the danger zone. Zodak 2 tenths up. Needs to find another 10th in this final sector. Coming up to the line now. Actually lost time in the final sector. Hasn't got the ERS to go for another lap. Gonna have to try and push anyway. Hobo needs to find half a tenth to come Speedy. I forgot, I didn't look to see what the split was through sector 2. So we're going to find this one out together through the final chicane, keeping to the right as much as possible. Crosses the line at 11.5, puts Hobo up into 5th. Moylan does an 11.0 on the softs, taking him up into 2nd. I forgot my ERS. You made it through though, Hobo. The Zodak's invalidated, so Zodak won't be making it through. Zodak keeping out the way of Hepburn there. Hepburn bailing on this lap anyway. Oh, don't yawn. So at the end of Q2 we will be saying goodbye to Speedy, Zodak and Decky. Let's see, is it gonna let me? It was terminal damage for Speedy. So that was Speedy's wheel left in the track. So Speedy, Zodak and Decky eliminated at the end of that session. Johnny Stokes leaving the session again. Wondering if it's something I said. So through to the all-important pole position shootout. Got Scotty, Moyland, Johnny, Mrs. Cole, Evan, Hobo, Womax, Hepburn, Kyle and Lister. So the pit lane looking wet again as we load into the session. And countdown restarts. and then it dries up a bit. So I'd imagine it's going to be dries all the way for Q3. Just move that to there. Things really running hot, so I don't know why we're doing that. Who has got out at the front of the pack? It's Evan out to lead us around the outlaps. They should all have plenty of tyres for this session. But we'll stay with Evan, telemetry and lap data up. I need to try and sit and work out these other overlays and get those working, because they do look a lot nicer than the standard game data. Like it's the same data, it's just presented nicely. Safely through the first handful of corners. Got some apex to the inside of the first chicane nicely. Now into the first DRS zone. Second zone, the first one start finish straight. Through the chicane, heading up to the hairpin. 42.5 for sector 2. Johnny Stokes, Kyle and Womax all holding in the pit at the moment as Evan makes his way down the back straight, heading towards the braking for the final chicane. Nicely through there. 1:11.1 for Evan to open us up. Hobo next to come across the line. Connect to the right hand side, and 11.7 for Hobo takes him into second place. Mrs. Cole comes across with an 11.8. Followed by Scotty, who I think Master invalidated, and Hepburn. Moreland an 11.3. Possibly a used set of tyres. Donny's still in the pits. Scotty purple sector 1. Through the chicane and invalidates on the exit of the chicane. We need to find a way to regroup, recharge some of that ERS. Ride your brakes, Scotty. Ride the brake to build the ERS up. Hepburn on his way down the back straight now. Into the chicane as Scotty dives into the pits. So up to the start finish line. Hepburn gives us a 1:11.8 to take him into 4th. 600s faster than Mrs. Carl. Carl on an outlap. Rumax on an outlap. Blisters just come out the pit on their outlap, as has Johnny Stokes. will be the next driver to set a time. Womack's into the hairpin. 10 minutes ago, when I messaged that. Williams keeping out of the way. Womack comes through the chicane. Past the wall of champions. 11.5 for Womack, taking him up into third place. Good time from Womack there. Still plenty of time to find. Only with a 19.5 through sector 1. Down to the chicane. Up towards the hairpin. It's invalidated after the hairpin, after the chicane, before the hairpin. Fuel to go for another run. It's listed as a 10.9 to take provisional pole. Breaking into the 10. Womack's into the pits. Evan 4 tenths up through sector 2. Can he keep that together through sector 3? Invalidates on the final chicane. Crosses the line with a 10.8. It would have been enough for provisional pole. Fuel to go for another run unless he can do some serious fuel saving around this lap. Moyland coming out the final try that again. Moyland out the hairpin, 2 tenths up through sector 2. It's an 11.1. He needs to find a couple of tenths in the final sector. Pushing it really tight to the wall of champions, crosses the line at 10.8, fine. It's half a second off of his previous time to take provisional pole. Got me oil. I do apologise, I'm absolutely knackered. Been a rather long day today. As we see, Johnny Stokes on the way round for his outlap, getting past Moyland, who keeps well out of the way. Guessing unsure if Johnny was on a lap. Taking that hairpin nicely, riding the curb on the apex beautifully. Weaving to get those tyres up to the right temperature range. This is a new set of tyres, so we'll see what Johnny can do. Yet to set the time. Can he make this one count and still pole position away from Moyland? 14.5 through sector 1 again for Johnny. DRS open. Under the bridge, on the brake. Gets the chicane beautifully this time. Keeps it in track limits. Up to the end of sector 2 of 41.9 as Scotty does a 10.4 to steal provisional pole. Has Johnny got an answer for that though? Run down to the final chicane. Gets it through beautifully. Brings it over to the left a little, but then cuts back to the right. A 10.6 from Johnny. A second place for Johnny. Scotty on provisional pole. Moyland 10th up on his time through sector 2. It's an absolutely blinding final sector. Takes 200ths off, stays in third place. Hobo's retired in the pits. Lister's 7/10 down. See if Evan's got anything to offer through final couple of sectors. Nicely through the chicane. See what the split is at the end of sector 2. 6/10 up. It's going to put him on a 10.5. And to find a 10th in this final sector. DRS open. Run down to the chicane. Keeps it out of the wall of champions. Brings it over to the left. May cost it a 10.3 from Evan to steal provisional pole. Moyland not improving. Rumac 10th down at sector 2. Comes across the line with, almost comes to a stop. Just Hepburn 2/10 up through sector 2. Coming down the final straight now. Sounds like he's backed off. He has. But Evan has stolen pole position there. The blinding lap in the closing moment. No more beer till after the race. Still plenty to do in the race, Hepburn. Sure you can find your way through the order. But there you go, confirmation. Evan takes the pole. Scotty in second. There's only 34 hundredths in it. Sorry, 34 thousandths. What's Mrs. K taken? I don't know. Lessons from Moyland. So Scotty in second, Johnny third, Moyland fourth, Mrs. K fifth, and then I've missed everyone else. So if you're below fifth, I do apologise. I know Hobo was below fifth. Here we go, lining up on the grid. They'll all be setting their strategies. I've got a moment because we've got a formation lap, so I'll be back in a sec. timed that right. Got back in time for the start of the formation lap. Had to disappear and grab some Red Bull because I need some to get away. Although I am expecting this to be a good race. I'm on, I think about 2 hours sleep. Starting to feel it now. And the SQ on the formation map. Tyres, that's what we were looking for. So Evan going hard. Scotty, Johnny and Moylan going for the medium. Mrs. Carl and Lissa on the hards. Hobo on the medium, Carl on the hard. Rumax medium, Hepburn hard. Speedy medium, Zodak and Decky on the hards. Cons on the medium, Venom and Frenzy on the hard. Let's put that to position change. Everyone comes round to reform on the grid. So everyone lined back up. Very odd angles on those cars on the grid. I can hear them go. There we go. Now we get to see them going. So Venom dropping right to the back. Scotty getting the move done on Evan though, and pulling out a decent gap already as they head to the first chicane. Holding on in third and Moylan in fourth. Hobo up into fifth. Mrs. Cole. Where have you gone, Mrs. Cole? I can't even see your name. Oh, there you are. You dropped down into 14. Hepburn in seventh, up 3 off the start. Speedy up into 8. Carl and Womax losing place on the start, down to 9th and 10th respectively. Cons up into 11th, Decky in 12th, Moylan and Johnny Stokes trading places though, so Moylan up into 3rd. Hot in pursuit of Evan. Scotty in front though, has opened up over a second gap in the first lap. Really finding his pace this time around. In the pits, you would say in the Discord he needed to jump off. Thank you for hanging around and holding on to retire it in the pit so there wasn't an AI car running around. It looked like Evan's got a big kick of oversteer there. Managed to keep it under control as they make their way through the chicane now. Scotty still opening that gap in front. Moylan, Johnny and Hobo keeping Evan within touching distance. Lister holding on. Just dropping out of the DRS as Hepburn and Speedy battling it around the hairpin. The chicane for the second time. Lister very close to the wall of champions. Scotty with the fastest lap of 13.6. Nearly a 2-second advantage over Evan now, and just increasing all the time. Evan having to look in his mirrors. Could for Moyland and Johnny. Also still on the back of that battle. Speedy and Hepburn still close together. With Rumax just ahead and Cons behind. This is Coles recovered a place over Frenzy as that was Decky round on the exit of the chicane and did pick up Mrs. Cole and Frenzy. Mrs. Cole with rear wing damage as well now. But Decky went round literally just in front of Mrs. Cole, got on the brakes, but Frenzy not able to get it stopped in time. I think that's what's caused the damage to Mrs. Cole's rear wing, so that's not going to help as Moylan's made his way past Evan. And he's now in pursuit of Scotty in first. Opened up 8/10 back to Evan. Evan's still under pressure from Johnny Stokes. Will be helping Moylan build that gap, so Johnny's got more work to do if he gets past Evan. Hobo's still hanging on to the back of this battle as well, so this battle for third is between Evan, Johnny and Hobo. As medium tyres helping them to open the gap back to Lister, currently in 6th in a bit of no man's land. Is 2 seconds back on Hobo, but 2 seconds ahead of Hepburn in 7th. Moyland picking up a penalty. That's not going to help him at the end of the race, as he can really open this up. Johnny Stokes has closed up. He's cleared Evan. He's going to be pulling Evan and Hobo along with him with the DRS. Moyland's not going to have the DRS to defend. This is all going to come down to driver ability. Can Moyland hold on? Keep ahead of Johnny Stokes. Close in that gap towards Scotty. Through the hairpin. Johnny 3/10 and closing. We'll have the DRS as well, so going to give Johnny the inside as they head down towards the chicane. Johnny's got the move done well before the braking zone, and we're going to get that second help in the DRS across the start finish line and help him defend from Moyland. Moyland back down into 5th, Johnny back into 2nd where he started the race. Speedy and Hepburn still close together as they go through turn 1 and 2. Hepburn still managing to hold on to 7th place at the moment. Maintaining the gap to Lister. Who was that just go round? That was the Aston of Cons. So Cons drops down into 11th. Doesn't appear to have any damage. No telemetry third, so not able to see. Speedy Hepburn side by side on the run down to the chicane. A little bit of contact there, rear wheel to front wheel between Hepburn and Speedy, which has allowed Womax to find his way through and going on the attack of Hepburn as well into turn 1. Doesn't get that one done. Speedy trying to find his way back past Womax on the exit Can't get that move done. Sonny's got the move done on Moylan. No, he got that done earlier, hadn't he, with the DRS down the final straight. Is this going to be a reverse of fortune to now? Can Moylan get the move done on Sonny? Moylan with a healthier ERS. Sonny's really hammered his ERS this time around. They are pulling each other along to close that gap to Scotty. That's now down to 1.2 seconds. They've taken 8/10 out of Scotty over the last couple of laps. Hobo coming under pressure from Evan. Hobo outbraking himself and having to cut the final chicane. Get away with it this time. He needs to try and get that car stopped and rotated. Yellow flag on the start finish. That was Hepburn round. Hepburn now carrying front and rear wing damage. So he got spin out of the final chicane and it's put him into the pit wall. That's going to make life difficult for Hepburn. So Cons with a penalty. Decky's going to be coming under pressure from the leader. He's going to be getting the blue flags any moment now. So he needs to be aware of these battles going on behind him. Scotty just managing to hold on to the outside of the DRS. It's only ever closer now. He's inside the DRS, so when we go through this corner here, Sonny and Moylan will both have the DRS. Scotty won't have the DRS to defend. Hepburn into the pits and retiring. But that rear wing would have made the car undrivable, so it's understandable. Stop yawning. Oh. Sonny not closing in as quickly as I thought he would onto Scotty with the DRS. Defending well, tactical use of the ERS. Both Sonny and Scotty quite a bit down on Moylan in third. Moylan with nearly a 30% advantage on the ERS. Feeling he's just saving that up to go on an attack once he's pushed to see the light flashing on the back of Johnny, so he knows he's not got anything to defend with. Hobo still holding on to Evan in fourth. These guys have dropped back 3 seconds off the lead pack. This is still running round in sixth. More and more in that no man's land. He'll be hoping to take full advantage when the medium runners have to make their pit stop. Hobo picks up a 3-second penalty. Still not able to find his way past Scotty. Oh, wake up. Ugh. As we go into the DRS. So, top 3 are on the mediums. Evans on the hards. Hobo needs to push a little to try and get back past Evan before he has to come in for the pits. As Mrs. Carl and Kyle trading places. Kyle recovering from a spin. Back to this battle for first. Very much evenly paced at the moment. And he's been able to recover some ERS, so there's only 10% difference between Donny and Moylan. Scotty is under pressure and 20% down on the ERS. Clothes-wise, everyone's very similar. It's almost like they're all running the same setup. Bit of a moment under traction for Scotty there as they run down towards the final chicane. That's given Johnny a chance and he takes full advantage, getting past Scotty before the break, and he'll have the DRS again. Out of the start finish straight down towards turn 1. So Johnny holding on to the lead. Now he's taking it. Scotty is going to be coming under increasing pressure from Moylan, but will have the opportunity to recover some ERS as we've got a safety car, and that's for Cons. At the moment, out of the chicane. You see where the car ended up. That's Cons out of the race, and our first safety car. So, Johnny, Scotty and Moylan all coming into the pits. Hobo in as well, Mr. in, Evan in. Hobo, Evan must have had a moment. He's got down behind this stuff. Does look like everyone's into the pits. This works out alright for those that started on the medium, as being able now to put the hards on under safety car, not affecting the order. Hobo losing out in the pits though. Lister getting the jump. I wonder if Hobo's pit box got blocked by others coming in. Did Hobo have to have a wing change? I think he might have actually. Yeah, new wing. Uh-oh. I say uh-oh because game showed that Scotty and Moylan traded places for a split second as Ronnie stoked his car, jumping all over the place. We are on lap 15, so not quite halfway. We've got the first safety car. It's going to allow Decky to close back up to the pack. He needs to get a bit of a move on. Not that far in front of the safety car. So Sonny with the lead behind the safety car. Scotty in second, Moyland in third, Lister in fourth, Hobo in fifth, Evan in sixth, Womax in seventh, Speedy in eighth, Frenzy in 9th, Mrs. Carl in 10th, Carl in 11th, Zodak in 12th, and Decky in 13th. We've lost Cons, Hepburn and Venom. Venom and Hepburn retiring in the pit. Cons having a moment around here. And the car actually goes stationary quite far down the straight, so I'm not sure what actually happened to Cons. At least Decky's only just making it through turn 2, 3, turn 2. The Red Bull will help him wake me up. Still behind safety car on lap 16. Frenzy has come into the pits. So penalty wise, second through to sixth are all on 3 seconds. Rumax in seventh, yet to pick up a penalty, and Speedy in eighth on 3 seconds. So still quite a way to go. With those penalties behind though, Johnny not under as much pressure to pull away. Nice buffer of 3 seconds, but then knowing Johnny, he'll want to open that gap as much as possible. So safety car in this lap. Decky hasn't yet caught up to the back of the pack, but is a lot closer than he was. He may still make it onto the back of the pack just as they restart. Johnny has gone into the chicane, back under racing conditions. Top three looking to have got a little bit of a jump on Lister. More than trying to find his way around the outside of Scotty through turn 2. Scotty having that covered off. Moylan now picks up another 3-second penalty, so that puts Moylan on 6. Will really hamper his chances. A bit of contact there between Moylan and Scotty. It's given Lister the chance to try and make a run on Moylan as they head up towards the next chicane. And has it covered off. Lister holding on this time around on the medium tyre. Got the better tyre for traction. Bit of a rear lock up for Moylan there into the hairpin. For Scotty even. Scotty I'm so used to seeing Moreland in the Alpine. Lister and Hobo trading places. Scotty going for the move and gets the move done on Johnny Stokes. So Scotty taking the lead again. Johnny not giving up though, right on the rear diffuser of that Alpine. Moylan trying to find a way through as well. Hobo battling with Evan into turn 2. Evan with the better traction out the corner. Gets the move done. So Evan back up into 5th. Hobo down into 6th. Top 4. All close together still. Still really pushing those medium tyres. Trying to take full advantage. Trying to go up the inside of Moyland into the chicane. Moyland covering it off on the exit. So holds on to 3rd place at the moment. Evan and Hobo walking closely behind Lister to see if they can take advantage of any mistakes ahead. Really struggling to try and keep talking because I'll be honest, I'm struggling to keep my eyes open in a minute. So that's Evan round on the exit of the final chicane. That's dropped Evan down all the way into 12th place. Doesn't appear to have any damage. They've got some work to do now to try and recover those lost places. Lister holding on to the back of Moylan. They're starting to drop Hobo. Hobo on the hard tyre though, so we'll have less traction out of the corners. Johnny Stokes picks up the 3-second penalty. So the top 5 all carrying penalties. Moylan currently the only one who's going to lose out if it were to finish like this, having 6 seconds. Lister holding on with this battle, but has absolutely rinsed his DRS this time around. Well, he's still not able to find a way past Scotty. 20% difference in their ERS. And the top 3 on the hard tyres. Lister on the mediums, holding on to the back of them, but not able to find a way past at the moment. Hobo just a couple of seconds back, outside the DRS of those in front, and has broken the DRS from those behind. Then Hobo has got DRS. No, that's Womack with DRS, isn't it? Pushing with the ERS, trying to make sure that when he goes through that detection point he's outside the 1 second gap back to Womack's. Like he was starting to close in on this battle at the front. Johnny with the DRS, choosing not to make the move that time as Scotty picked up another 3 seconds, so that's Scotty on 6, Johnny on 3, Moyland on 6. Speedy picking up 3 seconds, taking him up to 6, down in 10th. Frenzy picks up the fastest lap of the race at 13.3. Stop yawning. And have we got another safety car? Speedy collision with Evan. Decky's beat on the exit of the hairpin. By the looks of it, Speedy and Evan may have to illegal overtake? No. No, Speedy was on 6, wasn't he? So the 5 for the contact with Evan when the safety car came out. Will we see anyone come into the pits? It doesn't look like it at the moment. Womack picks up a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. Speedy into the pits. Evan into the pits. Speedy serving that 5 seconds. Mrs. Carl, Womack, Lister, Zodak, Evan, Speedy and Carl all... No, Carl stayed out. Very slow coming out of the pits. He's dropped all the way to the back of the grid. Again up the pits ahead. So Scotty maintains the lead behind the safety car. Johnny in second, Moyland in third, Hobo in fourth, Frenzy in fifth, Mrs. Carl in sixth. Lead runner of those who came into the pits, Lister in 7th, Speedy in 8th, who served his 5 seconds in the pits, Carl in 9th, Zodak in 10th, Evan in 11th and Womack in 12th. First casting up to the back of the pack now. Keep going to look for Red Bull. Another Red Bull. See if 2 Red Bulls. Hopefully we'll see a safety car in this lap. There we go. So now Scotty will need to back the pack up, give the safety car time to get down the back straight and into the pits. Those tyres back up to temperature. And there's another yawn. Wakey wakey. And Scotty has gone well before the final chicane, trying to catch Johnny and Moyland out. It's not really worked. They've kept with him. They've dropped Hobo. So again, it's going to be a battle for first place. Evan getting past Zodak up into 10th on the restart. Looking like they're going to be going for a move. Lister picks up a penalty for cutting the inside of the chicane. Speedy under pressure from Carl and Evan after the restart. Alfa Romeo's there trading places, so Evan up into 9th. Kyle down into 10. So that just off the back of this, Womax has been into service drive-through, so currently 16 seconds off the back of the pack. Scotty holding on to the lead. Johnny and Moylan though in close company. Hobo and Frenzy not that far back either. Frenzy on the older medium tyre. Could still have a decent amount of life left. Is running 10% more wear than those around him. Mrs. Cole still carrying that rear wing damage and a bit of body damage as well. Holding on to 6th place, coming under a bit of pressure now from Lister as Lister goes around the outside into the chicane. Does get the move done nicely. So that's Lister up into 6th, going in pursuit of Frenzy and Hobo. Oh, excuse me. Johnny and Moylan, Scotty, Johnny and Moylan now breaking the 1 second margin back to Hobo. Dropping back a little from Johnny as Johnny is pushing now with the DRS to try and find his way back past Scotty. And these two are teammates on a Monday night in GP1, so Scotty knows pretty much what Johnny's going to do. As it stands at the moment, does seem to have an answer for it. Scotty's got a 10% advantage on the ERS as well. Managed to save in the opening stages after the safety car. Saved a good chunk of ERS, which is going to help him defend from Johnny and Moylan as they've both got the DRS. Lister battling with Frenzy into turn 1, gets the move done, so that's Lister up into 5th, Frenzy drops down into 6th, Mrs. Cole on the back of Frenzy trying to find a way through. Body damage though looks to be affecting the stability of the car, although not greatly affecting it. Still pushing, rear wing open with the DRS as we run up towards the chicane. It's about for the lead though, carries on. Scotty keeping Johnny and Moylan at bay. Johnny probably knows he doesn't need to push too hard to try and find a way past. He's got that penalty advantage over Scotty, just needs to keep him within the 3 seconds. So we're just starting lap 28, 7 laps to go now. Battle for the lead, they've opened the gap back to Hobo to over 2 seconds. Hobo's holding the gap back to Lister, so Lister won't have the DRS to attack with. He is going to be coming under attack from Frenzy and Mrs. Cole as Cole and Evan trade in places. As we see Speedy into the wall on the exit of the chicane and brings out another safety car. So top 4 all on 14 lap old hards. I'm going to expect to see him in for softs. And then a 5-lap sprint at the end. As I thought, Scotty, Connie, Moylan and Hobo all into the pits. Lister staying out, Frenzy staying out, Mrs. Cole stays out, Evan and Kyle stay out. Scotty, Connie, Moylan and Hobo all going for the soft tyre. Bring Scotty out into 6th place. Zodak and Rumax into the pits as well. Zodak onto the soft and Rumax also onto the soft. So top 5 stayed out, all on the medium tyre. Frenzy on 13 lap old medium, everyone else on 7 or 8 lap old medium, and then 6th through to 11th on brand new soft. To be looking in their mirrors on the restart. This pack behind on the new softs are going to be pushing to try and get their way back through. So no warning of safety car in this lap, so we will be going for at least one more lap behind the safety car. I think the safety car will be in this lap around. This is programmed by Codemasters, so it may not be. There we are, safety car in this lap. Let's come up to speed. I wish you could split screen this for your spectator view. This could have 2 battles. You can see what's happening at front and then further back where you've got those on the fresher tyre. Bit like Sky do with the battle channel and the specific driver on board. So Lister goes on the entry to the chicane. Catches Frenzy out a little, opens up the gap, looking further back. Scotty, Johnny and Moylan. Moylan up the inside of Johnny and contact with the back of Scotty there. Scotty getting away with no damage. Dropping down the order. Johnny up into 5th. Evans dropped all the way down to 11th. Didn't see what happened to Evan there. Johnny straight on the attack onto Kyle, trying to find his way through. Frenzy holding on to Lister. Frenzy probably in the best position at the moment with no penalties as Johnny does make his way past Kyle and will now be heading on to try and find his way past the elbows out, widest car on the track, Mrs. Carl. Scotty's closing into the back of Zodak. After that contact with Moyland on the restart. Sure, words will be had after the race. Frenzy's starting to drop back a little from Lister, but if he can hold on within that 3 seconds, he is going to take the win as it stands at the moment. Johnny Stokes picking up another penalty there as he tries to find a way past Mrs. Cole, going for the outside around the hairpin. Mrs. Cole keeping it tight. Johnny does get it up. Serious double entendres there. So Mrs. Cole keeping a tight line around the inside. Johnny getting past around the outside and up into third place. As he goes in pursuit of Frenzy and List. The DRS is enabled this time around, so we're going to have a couple of laps with the DRS. Frenzy really needs to try and push as much as possible to hold on to Lister. Doesn't need to worry too much about Johnny behind, because Johnny's carrying those penalties, but he does need to keep in the 3 seconds of Lister in front. Scotty and Moyland have both made it past Zodak, so Scotty up into the wall. Scotty in the wall on the exit of the chicane. It's not going to throw a safety car. We're too close to the end of the race. It's taking its time to clear Scotty's car. There we go, Scotty's car's cleared. So Johnny's managed to get past Frenzy. Frenzy now sitting in third, Hobo in fourth. A good result for the AlphaTauri in the Constructors' Championship. I almost don't want to look at the penalties. Lister and Johnny both on 6 seconds, so if Frenzy can just hold on for a couple of laps, he's going to inherit the win. Hobo in fourth, also on 6 seconds, along with Moyland, who's made his way up into fifth. Evan picking up the fastest lap with a 1:12.2 on those fresh softs. Lister coming under pressure from Johnny. Johnny will have the DRS down the back straight, and the soft tyre will give him the advantage under traction. But Lister always one for a slippery setup. Great top line speed there. Johnny not able to find a way past at the moment as we enter the final lap. Frenzy's dropped down into fifth. Moyland and Hobo both getting past, but the top four all on 6 seconds of penalties. So I'm going to change that to leader. So keep an eye on how close Frenzy holds on to this battle for the lead. Mrs. Cole currently sitting in sixth with 3 seconds of penalties. Considering carrying body and wing damage for the second time tonight, keeping that car really well under control. Johnny's going to want to try and find a way past to get the win on track at least. Lister holding him off. He's eked out that ERS just to carry him to the line. Although Johnny does look like he's going to try and do it on the line, but Lister takes the win on track. Johnny in second, Hobo in third, Moylan takes fourth on track. But with the penalties, Frenzy takes the win. So Lister drops to second, Johnny in third, Zodak in fourth, Hobo in fifth, Moyland in sixth, Mrs. Cole takes seventh, Womax in eighth, Kyle in ninth, and Evan will pick up 10th, but will take the point for the fastest lap. Just wait for Evan to make his way down the final straight. Across the line to take 10th. Frenzy picks up driver of the day. P4 is my best finish in RPR. Well done, Zodak. That was... You kept it clean. No penalties, late safety car. It's... Yeah, that's just... Well done on your best result. And well done on keeping it clean when everyone around you pretty much was picking up penalties left, right and centre. So, confirmation there. Frenzy takes the win. Lister in second. Johnny in third. Zodak in fourth. Hobo in fifth. Moyland in sixth. Mrs. Carl in seventh. Womax in eighth. Carl in ninth. Evan in 10th. Scotty classified in 11th. Not sure what actually happened to cause his DNF. But Speedy, Cons, Hepburn, Venom and Decky all failing to finish. I think I've covered that enough. I don't need the screenshots because I'll just steal them off the my stream later. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm losing the plot because I'm knackered. So, thank you everyone for watching. It was definitely an entertaining race. I'll be back again on Monday with the driver's view of Spain. Yay. With GP1. Moyland and Hobo will be providing commentary on their Twitch channels. I forgot, on Saturday the TTFL are running an F2 league, which I think a few of the drivers from RPR are signed up for. That's going to be commentated on by Nevo on his Twitch channel, which I think is just Nevo. I don't know. I will find the link and get it posted in RPR so those who want to watch the F2 race can get involved. And then we've got RPR GP1 on Monday, which I've covered, and then Tuesday and Wednesday Hobo will be streaming the DXT FIFA Chairman League. And then we're back to Friday next week, where we've got TTFL at Imola from 8 o'clock, and GP2 for RPR will be back in Barcelona. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for getting involved in the chat. I'll see you all next week. Take it easy.